Mourning the martyrs of the Gaza Strip, Palestinian Christians will not celebrate Christmas this year. The holiday rituals will be limited to prayers, which will also be hindered, especially in the occupied city of Al-Quds. Zionist Israel has turned the city of Al-Quds into military barracks throughout the year, currently deploying its checkpoints and police forces in all alleys, streets, and squares. This is accompanied by direct assaults by soldiers and settlers, obstructing the lives of Al-Quds residents, including their prayers, without any freedom. Palestinian Christians have not only cancelled holiday celebrations, but have also in recent weeks sent letters to all religious and human rights authorities worldwide, urging them to work to stop the genocide against Gaza. At the same time, condemnations continue for the visit by the heads of Christian churches in Al-Quds to the residence of Israeli entity President Isaac Herzog during the holiday season. Among the condemnations was a statement from the Pastoral Council of the Ramallah Roman Catholic Melkite Church, which denounced the meeting, saying, "Such meetings do not represent us and are not related to us." Targeting Christians in Gaza as well as in the West Bank or occupied Al-Quds did not begin with the start of the aggression, but extends back before that. Reference is made here to the attacks suffered by Christian clergy in early October prior to the Al-Aqsa flood battle, from assaults by settler groups in Al-Quds involving physical violence and spitting, in addition to attacks by occupation police forces. Commenting on this incident at the time, the World Council of Churches in Al-Quds stated that Christians are facing persecution from Zionist Israeli extremist groups, criticizing the Israeli entity government's silence on the matter and adding, "We feel persecuted as Christians and for Christianity as a religion in the country. There is Israeli Jewish persecution that is encouraged either through police negligence or through the statements made by Israeli government ministers." Now, the harassment is not limited to determining the numbers of worshippers and the paths they take in Al-Quds. It extends to the collaboration of the occupation police with settlers and Zionist right-wing extremist groups who roam the neighborhoods and alleys of the city. Christian believers are subjected to insults and verbal abuse. On many occasions, the occupation police intervene and physically assault them in case of disputes with settlers who regularly spit at Christian believers wherever they see them. Now, Minister of National Security Itamar Ben-Gvir defended those acts, saying, "There is an ancient Jewish custom to spit when passing near a monastery or priest, and you can agree with it or disagree." Ben-Gvir then questioned, "Why do we turn spitting on Christians into a criminal offense?" I know, it angers me too. Spit back on the occupation, and only then Christmas will be merry again. Welcome to the Middle East Stream. I'm Marwa Osman. In a show of solidarity with the Palestinians of Gaza and the devastation there, church leaders in Bethlehem and elsewhere in the Palestinian Holy Land have asked local Christians to avoid public displays of celebration and to instead intensify their prayers for the war's innocent victims. Bethlehem municipal authorities too announced the removal of previously installed Christmas decorations in solidarity with our people in Gaza. To discuss this issue with us from Damascus, Syria, is Father Elias Zahlawi, a Catholic priest of the Church of Our Lady of Damascus. Father Zahlawi, it's an honor to have you with us, especially on these very tough, devastating days, with Christmas being on the verge of these very devastating days now. As you know, there is no Christmas in Bethlehem this year. Actually, there's no Christmas in all of Palestine, all of the region of West Asia. With the U.S. Zionist-Israeli war on the Gaza Strip, festivities are off. This year, there will be no Christmas in the city that is synonymous with the birth of Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, because of the ongoing genocide in Gaza. Now, as a man of the church yourself, what does this cancellation mean to you and to your parish?
I wonder, what is the significance of celebrating the birth of Christ the Lord, who brought to the world the most profound meanings of God and humanity? I question what this celebration has turned into. Regardless of religious observances, the current events have no connection to the birth of the one who carried the perfect image of God and humanity. Whether they observe religious festivities or not, what is happening today, starting from Palestine and extending worldwide, is unlike what Christ the Lord intended with his birth in Bethlehem. He came glorifying God. But what unfolds today from Palestine across the globe reminds us of Herod's actions after the birth of Jesus Christ, where he slaughtered children in Bethlehem in an attempt to eliminate the newborn Jesus. Today's events, heard and seen globally, including by all churches, notably the Vatican, are unimaginable and unacceptable to both God and humanity. Whether celebrated or not, Jesus Christ has no association with this holiday or its celebrations. That's my perspective.
Father Zahlawi, knowing that churches were not spared in the Zionist Israeli attack on Gaza, where Christians who were displaced civilians who found refuge in the churches of Gaza were targeted and they were martyred inside of their churches. What do you think priests this Christmas should do or should say to their pastoral, in their pastoral activities to their parish, to urge them to stand strong, maybe to support those that are facing the war in the Gaza Strip and also in the occupied West Bank, because we have been seeing this kind of discrimination against especially the Christian believers as well as the Muslim ones in Al-Quds city as well?
What is required from those representing Christ the Lord, regardless of their rank in the church, whether an ordinary being, a bishop, a patriarch, a cardinal, or the Pope in Rome, is to speak as Jesus did out of love for humanity and in reverence to God. All denominations have remained silent today, especially the Western churches. While it's true that the Al-Aqsa flood began on the 7th of October and the Pope spoke on the 16th of December following the killing of 2 Christian women in a Gaza church, I would like to ask the Pope and all Western churches, are these 2 women the only ones worthy of concern among the human category, while thousands of children, women and men were martyred in Gaza? Why did His Holiness the Pope speak only after the assassination of 2 Christian women in Gaza? And neither he nor any bishop in the West or East spoke out about the killing of tens of thousands of children and women. Why this silence? I wonder, and openly pose the question awaiting an answer.
Father Zahlawi, we saw that heads of Christian churches in Al-Quds visited last week the residence of the Israeli entity president, Isaac Herzog, and they even took public photographs with the man while the Christians of Gaza were being killed under the rubble of their own churches because of the Israeli Zionist bombings. And the Christians of Al-Quds are being harassed. They are being even spat on by the occupation soldiers and settlers. What message would you send to those heads of Christian churches after their visit to the head of the Zionist entity?
When I read the news about the meeting of leaders from different Christian denominations in Al-Quds with the head of the Zionist entity, I felt deep sorrow. However, I found some consolation when I learnt that a priest from the Catholic Church in Ramallah protested against the project of the Christian leaders meeting with the head of the Zionist entity. But I truly wonder about this silence. Churchmen are not required to carry weapons. They are required to uphold the words of Jesus. Jesus' words are a defense of God, for God is love and justice, defending every human being, especially in the land of the Christ. What has been happening there for 75 years is a complete denial of all that Jesus Christ carried for humanity: light, love, dignity, and peace. I don't ask churchmen to bear arms. I only ask them to say what Jesus said. Jesus did not carry a weapon. He carried words, and his words changed the world. Today, Why do we submit in the name of money and power to authorities that destroy the values of God and human values? It's time for us to wake up and trust that everything happening in Gaza today will be the beginning of a change globally, as change has already started at the grassroots level. As for governments, unfortunately, even some Arab governments have become entangled with Zionism. However, the people have risen. We have even heard officials in America say that what is happening in Gaza liberated us in America. I believe we are facing the birth of a new world.
Father Zahlawi, in less than 1 minute, what could you say, what is your message to the people of Gaza at these very difficult times on Christmas Day?
Being in the Church of Our Lady in Damascus, I remember only this. 2,000 years ago, someone came to Damascus carrying an absolute hostility towards Christianity. In Damascus, Christ the Lord appeared to him, transformed his heart, and he became the greatest evangelist known to Christianity. That was the fate of Saul, who became Saint Paul. Today, I hope that from Gaza a new light will emerge, a new direction for a new world. I earnestly hope for it from the bottom of my heart. And I ask the Allah, the God of the heavens and the earth, to bestow His grace upon all humans, even upon the oppressors, restoring their dignity as human beings, bringing them peace and love as humans. May humanity experience a period of safety, joy and tranquility, at the least for a while. Peace be with you.
Father Zahlawi, thank you very, very much on this very special day for being with us from Syria, from Damascus. Father Elias Zahlawi, a Catholic priest of the Church of Our Lady of Damascus. Merry Christmas to you and to all your parish and to all the Christians.